Have you ever wondered why some women manage to stay in a man's mind all day while others are forgotten in seconds? The difference lies in how they start his day. Today you'll discover how to send good morning messages that will not only make him think about you all day, but will strengthen your self-love in the process. Louise Hay, a pioneer in personal development, discovered that our morning words have extraordinary power to create deep connections. It's not just about sending a simple good morning, but about transmitting energy that resonates for hours in the recipient. What many women don't understand is that a good morning message isn't just a text, it's an energetic declaration. It's the first impression you leave on his day. And when you learn to do it correctly, he won't be able to stop thinking about you, even in the midst of his most important activities. Most people live sending generic, predictable messages that anyone could send. Good morning. Have a nice day. Sound familiar? These messages disappear as quickly as they arrive because they lack depth, authenticity, and above all, that unique touch that only you can give. The mistake is believing you need to be intense or show desperation to capture his attention. Nothing could be further from the truth. Louise Hay taught that true connection emerges when your words come from a place of fullness, not lack. When you communicate from your center, from your personal power, that's when you truly capture his attention. What if I told you there's a way to send good morning messages that will not only make him think about you all day, but will also strengthen your self-love in the process? It's possible, and today I'll show you exactly how to do it. The first message that will change everything. Good morning. I woke up thinking about something you said yesterday that made me smile. Thank you for being part of my positive thoughts this morning. This message is powerful for several reasons. First, you're letting him know he occupies a space in your mind, but not in an obsessive way. Second, you're linking his presence with positive emotions, something Louise Hay considered fundamental for creating healthy connections. And third, you're expressing gratitude, which always elevates the energy of any exchange. What makes this message special is that you're not begging for attention. You're letting him know you value something specific he said or did, recognizing his essence. Louise Hay said that sincere recognition is one of the most powerful gifts we can give to another human being. When you recognize something specific about him, you're seeing beyond the superficial. Think about the last time someone told you something like this. How did you feel? Probably special, seen, valued. That's exactly the feeling you'll generate in him. But remember something crucial. This message only works if it's genuine. If there wasn't really something that made you smile, don't make it up. Authenticity is non-negotiable. As an exercise, tonight, before sleeping, think of something positive the person you're interested in said or did, no matter how small, and connect with the gratitude you feel for that. Now repeat this phrase. My words have the power to create genuine connections when they come from my truth. Feel it, believe it, because it's true. Before continuing, if this content is resonating with you, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive more videos like this that will help you transform your relationships through self-love. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point, the second message that will completely change the dynamic. The second message goes like this. Good morning. I woke up today with incredible energy and a plan to do something I love. I hope your day is filled with moments that make you feel alive. Do you notice the difference from typical messages? You're not asking for anything. You're not showing neediness. You're sharing your light, your joy, your independence. And then, you're wishing him something positive. Louise Hay taught that when you love yourself enough, you radiate an energy that naturally attracts people to you. This message shows exactly that you have a full life regardless of him, but that you still wish to include him in your circle of good energy. The problem with many women is that they send messages from a place of lack. Good morning, what are you doing today? Will we see each other? These messages, though they may seem innocent, transmit emotional dependence. They show that your day revolves around his plans, his decisions. Have you ever felt attracted to someone who seems to desperately need you? Probably not. Genuine attraction arises toward those who have a full life and choose to share part of it with you, not toward those who make you responsible for their happiness. The message I shared does exactly the opposite. It shows that you have your own plans, that your happiness is in your hands, and that you simply wish for him to experience something similar. This attitude is magnetic. Here's a practical exercise. Tonight, plan something that truly excites you to do tomorrow. It can be something small like reading that book you've been postponing, trying a new recipe, or taking a walk in a place you like. The important thing is that it's something that genuinely excites you. Tomorrow, after sending this message, actually do what you planned. This isn't just to impress him, it's to reinforce your self-love. Louise Hay said that self-love is not selfishness, it's the necessary foundation for being able to love others in a healthy way. When you prioritize yourself, you not only become more attractive, but you build the foundation for a balanced relationship. Repeat with me. My life is full of purpose and joy for myself, and from that fullness I choose to share with others. Do you realize how these messages are changing not only how he perceives you, but also how you perceive yourself? This is real transformation, from the inside out. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point, the third message that will awaken his curiosity like no other. Good morning. I just had a fascinating dream that reminded me of a conversation we had. I love how some people stay with us even in our subconscious. This message is powerful because it creates an aura of mystery. You don't reveal exactly what you dreamed about or which conversation it reminded you of. This activates his natural curiosity, creating space for him to ask more, to want to know. Louise Hay firmly believed in the power of the subconscious and how our dreams reveal deeper connections. By mentioning that he appeared in your dream world, you're subtly communicating that there's a connection that goes beyond the conscious. The fascinating thing about this message is that you're not being calculating or manipulative. You're sharing something true. We all dream, and sometimes the people we care about appear in those dreams, in a way that invites a deeper conversation. Have you noticed how some conversations stay with you for days? Maybe because of how they made you feel, because of an idea you'd never considered before, or simply because of the connection you felt in that moment. When you let someone know they've had that impact on you, you create a stronger bond. The mistake many make is believing that to maintain a man's interest, they need to be complicated, play psychological games, or pretend disinterest. The real magic happens when you're authentic but strategic in how you share that authenticity. Louise Hay taught that healthy relationships are built from truth, not manipulation. This message honors that teaching because you're not making anything up. You're simply choosing to share something intimate in a way that sparks interest. Here's an exercise. Tonight before bed, think of a meaningful conversation you've had with him. It could be something deep or something seemingly trivial that somehow impacted you. Connect with that feeling. If you actually dream about something related, fantastic. If not, you can always share a thought you had upon waking that reminded you of him. The important thing is the genuine connection. Repeat this mantra before sleeping. My subconscious mind creates deep and meaningful connections that enrich my life. If these messages are resonating with you and you want to transform not only your relationships but your relationship with yourself, make sure to share this video with that friend who needs to hear this message. Sometimes the right content arrives at the perfect moment to change a life. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point, the fourth message that will create an unforgettable emotional connection. Good morning. This morning I practiced that gratitude exercise you mentioned, and I really felt a shift in my energy. Thank you for sharing that wisdom with me. I hope your day is filled with moments to be grateful for. This message is extraordinarily powerful because it does three things at once. It shows that you value his ideas, that you actually implement them in your life, and that you're on a path of personal growth. Louise Hay firmly believed in the transformative power of gratitude. She taught that when we live in a state of gratitude, we attract more experiences to be grateful for. By mentioning that you're practicing gratitude, You're aligning yourself with an elevated vibration that will inevitably attract more to you. What makes this message special is that you're acknowledging his wisdom. We all want to feel valued for our ideas, for what we can contribute intellectually and spiritually to others. When you let a man know that you've taken something he shared and incorporated it into your life, you're validating his value on a deep level. Has someone ever taken your advice and then told you how it changed their life? Do you remember how you felt? You probably experienced a mix of pride, connection, and satisfaction. That's exactly the feeling you'll generate in him with this message. Many women make the mistake of only praising physical or material aspects. I love how you look in that photo. Nice new car. Although these compliments have their place, they don't create the same depth of connection as when you acknowledge someone's wisdom or ideas. Louise Hay said that the deepest connections arise when we see each other at the soul level. When you recognize someone's ideas, you're essentially saying, I see beyond your appearance, I see your mind, your heart, your essence. Here's a practical exercise. Think of something wise, useful, or inspiring that he has shared with you. It could be advice, a reflection, a book or podcast recommendation, or simply a way of seeing life. Take that advice and genuinely implement it. Notice how you feel. Then, share that experience with him in an authentic way. Repeat this mantra. I recognize and honor the wisdom in others, and in doing so, I open myself to receiving more wisdom in my life. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point, the fifth message that will establish an almost telepathic connection between you. Good morning. I don't know why, but today I woke up feeling a special connection with you, as if we were synchronized in some way. Do you feel it too, or is it just my intuition speaking to me? This message is powerful because it appeals to something we all deeply yearn for, the sensation of an invisible, almost magical connection with another person, that synchronicity that goes beyond the logical or explainable. Louise Hay often spoke about the power of intuition and how sometimes we feel connections that transcend time and space. This message acknowledges and honors that possibility. The extraordinary thing about this message is that it invites a deeper conversation. You're not just affirming the connection, you're asking if he feels it too. This creates space for shared vulnerability, for both of you to explore together that sensation of being connected beyond the physical. Have you ever had that strange feeling of thinking about someone and then that person calls or texts you at that precise moment? Or maybe you dreamed about someone and the next day you ran into them. These synchronicities, although we can't fully explain them, create a sense of mystery and fascination. The mistake many make is believing that relationships are built only with the tangible, plans, conversations, time together. But there's a more subtle dimension that we often ignore, that energetic connection we feel with certain people. Louise Hay taught that we are all connected on a deeper level than we are aware of. When you acknowledge this connection, you're accessing a level of intimacy that goes beyond the superficial. Here's an exercise. Each morning, before picking up your phone, close your eyes and center your attention on your heart. Breathe deeply and visualize the person you're interested in. Feel the connection between you like a golden thread linking your heart to his. Maintain this visualization for a few minutes. You don't need to send this message every day, just when you genuinely feel that special connection. Repeat this mantra. I am open to experiencing deep and meaningful connections that nourish my soul. If these ideas are transforming your perspective on relationships and communication, don't miss our upcoming videos. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be the first to receive more content like this. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point, the sixth message that will create a bridge between your worlds. Good morning. I'm about to enjoy my coffee while listening to that song you recommended. There's something special about sharing small moments of joy, even at a distance. What small joy awaits you today? This message is magical because it creates a shared experience despite physical distance. You're building a bridge between your worlds, creating a moment of connection through something he recommended to you. Louise Hay believed in the power of small moments of joy to transform our vibration. She taught that it's not the big events that determine our happiness, but learning to appreciate the small moments of joy that occur each day. The beautiful thing about this message is that you show you value his recommendations, that you incorporate them into your daily life, and you also invite him to share a moment of his day with you. You're creating a space of intimacy at a distance. Has it happened to you that someone recommends a song, a book, or a movie, and when you finally enjoy it, you feel a special connection with that person, as if they were there with you? It's as if part of that person is present through the experience they shared with you. The mistake many make is believing that connection can only be built when you're physically together. The truth is that some of the deepest connections are formed in those moments when, despite the distance, you share experiences, thoughts, or emotions. Louise Hay said that true connection transcends time and space. With this message, you're creating that transcendence, that bond that goes beyond where you are physically. Here's a practical exercise. Think of something he has recommended to you. It could be a song, a book, a podcast, a place to visit, or even a way to prepare your coffee. Genuinely incorporate it into your routine. Notice how you feel when experiencing what he shared with you. Then, share that experience from a place of authenticity. Repeat this mantra. Each shared experience, even at a distance, creates an invisible bond that connects us. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point, the seventh message that will seal your presence in his mind throughout the day and beyond. Good morning. Today, while getting ready, I found myself smiling as I remembered the way you explain things with such enthusiasm. It's fascinating how small details about the people we appreciate can brighten our days without them even knowing. This last message is perhaps the most powerful of all because it does something extraordinary. It recognizes a specific and unique detail about his way of being, something that probably no one else has noticed or valued before. Louise Hay taught that when you recognize what is unique and special in another person, you're giving them one of the most precious gifts, the feeling of being truly seen. This message does exactly that. What makes this message special is that you're observing and valuing something that goes beyond the obvious. You're not praising his appearance or his achievements, but something subtle about his essence, his way of being in the world. This demonstrates deep attention and appreciation. Remember the last time someone noticed something in you that you hadn't even valued yourself? Maybe the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you're passionate about, or how you always find the positive side of situations. How did you feel? You probably experienced a mix of surprise, joy, and a deep sensation of being truly seen. The mistake many make is believing that to impact someone you need to make grand gestures or declarations. The truth is that often it's these subtle observations, these appreciations of small details that touch us most deeply. Louise Hay said that small acts of love and appreciation are what build the most lasting connections. This message is exactly that type of act. Here's a final exercise. Over the next few days, carefully observe the person you're interested in, not with a critical or evaluating gaze, but with genuine curiosity and appreciation. Notice those small details that make him unique. Maybe the way he gestures when excited, how he slightly wrinkles his nose when laughing, or the way he listens attentively when someone speaks. Choose one of those details, something that genuinely moves or inspires you, and share it from the heart. Repeat this mantra. I see, recognize, and appreciate the unique beauty in each human being who enters my life. These 7 good morning messages aren't simple texts. They're bridges of connection, they're declarations of conscious attention, they're invitations to a deeper and more meaningful way of relating. And the most beautiful thing is that you're not using them as manipulative strategies to capture attention. You're communicating from a place of authenticity, genuine appreciation, conscious presence. This will not only transform how he perceives you, but more importantly, it will transform how you perceive yourself. Louise Hay taught us that self-love is the foundation of all our relationships. When you communicate from that place of fullness, healthy self-esteem, genuine appreciation, you not only attract healthier and more satisfying relationships, but you honor yourself in the process. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the relationship with yourself. And when that relationship is based on love, respect, and appreciation, all your other relationships will reflect that same quality. Now I invite you to write in the comments, "I choose to communicate from my personal power and authenticity." Do it as a declaration for yourself, as a commitment to your own growth. If this video has helped you see your relationships and communication from a new perspective, share it with that friend who needs to hear this message. Sometimes, the right words at the right time can change an entire life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive more content like this that will help you transform not only your relationships with others, but your relationship with yourself. Remember that you deserve relationships that see you, value you, and celebrate you for who you truly are. And that begins with seeing, valuing, and celebrating yourself first.